For over a decade, the RSI Aurora has been the face of Star Citizen. From starter pack to in-game budget all-rounder, this humble little coffin with wings was for many, if not most, our first home away from home, a reliable little friend. But now as the verse has grown, the poor Aurora has been left to the dust, leaving us with a feeling like our first little friend was all but left behind. That all changed with Alpha 4.7, finally lifting the veil on the rumoured Mark II, placing it squarely in our hands and almost immediately in our hearts. As our wallets emptied and our excitement grew, we could finally look, feel and enjoy the return of a legend. What many expected to be a simple gold pass with minor changes to scale to better suit the modern metrics of the game, perhaps a change here and there like the cargo pod or perhaps simple cosmetic changes to the craft, well this is more than just a facelift. This little ripper is a statement, an in-fiction shot across the bow to other manufacturers. This is Robert Space Industries. Today I'm going to attempt something a little bit different for the channel, and that is a ship review, sort of. Now while I'll be giving my opinion on the ship, I have decided I only want to do this sort of thing if I have something to add to the conversation, beyond simply parroting the buy page, with stats and information like it's got an engine and wings and a cockpit and so on. So while this is a review of the Aurora Mark II, I'm also going to take a moment to talk about the bigger picture, because with this ship's release, CIG have confirmed the ongoing aesthetics for the brand. If the Aurora looks like this now, what could that mean for ships going forward, or better yet, the legendary Constellation? Could we see a rework, Mark 5 or 6, or just a Mark II, depending on how they'd like to brand it? Will it adopt the aggressive arrowed look of the Polaris and the Galaxy and now the Aurora, or hold a less angular styling of the Apollo and its original Aquila design? So let's dive in and have a look. First things first, let's take a look at the new Mark II. Externally, use the scratches. I've been using it quite a bit. This ship has many changes, now sporting the matured RSI aggressive styling. The ship has been rebranded as a sleek baby brother to the much-loved Scorpius. The Mark II does manage to maintain a similar silhouette, but larger and sharpening everywhere. It looks fast and dangerous, and with 4 size 2 weapon hardpoints and much more robust missile rack in the right hands, it absolutely can be. But the real star is its modularity. Unlike the old pick a variant and stay there model, the Mark II feels like a Swiss Army knife. The transition between cargo module, for example, handling now up to 8 SCU cargo, along with the addition of the 2 SCU in the main hull, and the combat module is seamless, either by tractor beam in your hangar or via your mobi-glass, while the ship is delivered and currently stored at your present location. The opportunities this modular compartment system brings to the table has a much farther reaching implication than the 2 basic modules, that of the combat with extra shields, missiles, or the cargo module for the before mentioned SCU upgrade have yet to explore. We could see medical pods, bike racks, bomb bays, drop seats, or a big Benny's noodle van add-on. Joking aside, the modular system here will give new and older backers with an Aurora in their hangar a much more mission-to-mission flexibility than ever before, and would seemingly ensure that the design doesn't age out of focus like the Mark I sadly did. As we head inside, you can see the strut-heavy cockpit we all love to hate has been refined. You still get that industrial RSI utilitarian feel, but the visibility is vastly improved with the struts sitting below the eye line. As for amenities, it has a bed, the new but not yet functional suit locker, a place for weapons and internal storage, but most crucially, an engineering terminal. Additionally, we see the updated and standardized seating animation, and you can dim the lights. Heading back outside and into the skies, it feels punchy. It's not a Gladius, but with the new 4.7 armor physics, this thing can take quite a beating for its size. And let's not forget, it's an X-Wing, so it gets bonus points from me. From a features point of view, it's moved the needle so much for me that I've had to make some opinion changes. For a long time, my recommendation for a starter has always been the Aegis Titan, another ship needing a massive rework if you ask me. I find myself in a bind though, now having to reassess my previous rock-solid opinion, as the Aurora is a legitimate contender for the best starter ship in the game to date. You should probably own one. Righto, now we have the Aurora, it begs the question, where is RSI as a brand going? And to figure that out, we have to look at where they've been. Historically, RSI was the NASA punk brand / utilitarian styled white and grey, typical Earth origin looking ship. If we take a look at the design shift, starting with the Mantis and the Scorpius, we started seeing these aggressive sharper angles and intricate folding animations, while clear nods to the angular Constellation bridge and the extending engine pods. It's clear RSI wanted to make a very significant move from basic space truck to high-tech powerhouse, never losing that industrial feeling and ending up somewhere between Drake and Crusader from a looks point of view. CIG has clearly been redefining the RSI visual language over the last 12 months. They are leaning into a Star Warsy aesthetic. For designers of RSI ships, they clearly want a dominant, recognisable silhouette suiting the older ship manufacturer's reputation. It's a style designed to invoke power and prestige over other human-built ships, with the Polaris being a perfect example of these ideals brought to life. Now looking at the Mark II, it bridges that gap perfectly. It keeps the heritage but uses the same material shaders and interior assets styling we're seeing in the newer medium and big sub-capital concepts. It's the gold standard of gold standards for the future. In my humble opinion, the Connie's the most iconic ship in the game. Hate it or love it, it was the first taste of larger ship gameplay. It has features adopted by a multitude of designs for both RSI and other brands since its conception. But its interior is a relic of 2014. Its strut gore in the cockpit, the wasted space in the living quarters, cramped walk-in hallways, oddly positioned turrets and airlocks, and that front elevator. Oh yeah, and the way you slap the nose into the ground every time you try to land it properly. CIG, I think it's time. With the Aurora Mark II now live, the RSI style guide is complete. My prediction, Constellation Mark V or remake, is much closer than we think. Expect the neck to be widened, and to accommodate the new engineering gameplay, expect the crew quarters to look more like the Polaris or Perseus. I would fully expect the variant system to be gone and replaced with the new modular system we now see on the Mark II. Clean and functional midsection allowing for a rapid roll change, with the one or two exceptions being the Aquila with its Apollo-esque bridge, and perhaps the Phoenix with a more specialised role. And between you and me and the gatepost, I'm expecting this news on a rework this year. Speculation, of course, but we have seen hints in the monthly reports about large-scale RSI component housing being worked on. Last I checked, we already have larger housing on the Polaris, the Perseus, as the capital or sub-capital ships. I don't think we need large component bays for the Aurora, so if you ask me, it's probably for the Connie. Imagine a Constellation with updated styling and a return to the sliding engine pods, the missile wings borrowing the tech from the Scorpius, or a sleek, purposeful interior styling, remote turrets and larger, more versatile interiors with a working spar for the Phoenix, perhaps even a micro hangar or a more usable or universal snub bay. RSI is the backbone of the UEE, and in 2025 and 2026 it finally feels like the developers are giving this brand the love it deserves. From the humble Aurora to the upcoming Galaxy, and in my opinion, the inevitable Connie remake, this is an RSI renaissance, so to speak. So anyway, what do you think? Is the Mark II enough to make you melt your cutter? What would be the one thing you would want to see in a Constellation remake? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the verse. Hooroo!